Good afternoon. My name is Kathy Porter for Liberty University, and this presentation is for Human Services 508. The goals of the presentation are to first to define interpersonal communication and its implications. Also, I'll be identifying my personal overarching goal. I will describe my background, my behavioral blend, and how they have influence in a positive and a negative nature on my communication. Next, I will define my personal barriers and my coping skills and look to improve on them and how they influence my communication. I will identify and provide solutions in overcoming internal and external distractions. I will then restate my overarching goal and then include a plan of action to improve my interpersonal communication skills. Next, in defining interpersonal communication, Stewart states that interpersonal communication is a subset of communication skills, and they are collaboration, choices that we make, the culture in which we live, the conversation itself, and then nexting, what we do next in a conversation. Next, in defining my overarching goal is to first learn to listen with patience and then mindfully adopt the skills that I need to become a more empathetic and patient listener and communicator. Next, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about my personal background. While I have a wide array of life experiences, including extensive travel throughout the United States, and actually have lived outside the company, I'll first talk a little bit about my childhood. Unfortunately, at the age of 2, I did lose my family. I was placed in foster care. Unfortunately, that didn't go well either. I was abused and neglected in that care. Eventually, I was adopted by a loving family. However, I was raised in a rather addictive setting and somewhat dysfunctional. When I was a teenager, I did make some unfortunate choices. However, as an adult today, I feel very blessed by all the good things that God has granted me. I have a wonderful home. I have an abundance of friends. I have a wonderful spiritual confidant. I have my good health, and I have a wonderful son. Next, I'll talk about my personality blend, which is ISC. I have strong people skills. I can be outgoing. I can be somewhat reserved at times. I do like to influence and interact with others. I like to help people, but again, I can withdraw. And I do like to work on projects. I do like to delegate as well. At times, I can be critical, although I don't need to be in charge. And I definitely prefer to be in an organized situation. Next, my overall behavioral blend was also accurate. I'm definitely more people-oriented than task-oriented. I do focus more on others. I'm a type of person, I think globally. I like to look at the big picture of a situation. I do like to make people feel better about their situation if somebody comes to me with a problem. I do like to extend hope to them. I am a silver lining person. I can be very emotional at times. I am definitely very protective with my family and those I love, and I am also very astute. On the negative side of my behavioral blend, while I will extend grace and mercy to others, I am not so good about extending it to myself. Also, I can be very hard on myself. I also become impatient with those who appear to be judgmental and those who appear to be narrow-minded. At times, I can overly apply my perspective and meaning to a situation. However, my greatest downfall is being impatient. Unfortunately, the disadvantages of being impatient, we have a tendency to prejudge a situation, not only the situation, but the people in the situation. We can interrupt at times, become a little self-focused, instead of listening. Sometimes much of my focus is on what I'm thinking and what my response might be. At times, if somebody's struggling to find the right word, I find it necessary to step in, maybe help them, which is probably, I need to be more patient and let them find their way. And instead of me trying to direct the conversation. Unfortunately, too, impatience can be regarded as arrogance, and I certainly don't want people to think I'm arrogant. Next, in overcoming barriers, first of all, I think our level and depth of willingness is a true barometer of our success in overcoming your behavior and setting goals. I will attempt to resist and prejudgment and open my mind to the conversation's possibilities. I am probably going to have to learn to literally bite my tongue at times and count to 10. And if I do interrupt somebody, I will immediately apologize to them. More importantly, though, in moments of relapse, I need to extend the same grace and mercy that I give to others to myself. Next, in talking about internal and external distractions, which both can be equally distracting. Typical external distractions include, somebody speaking loudly or softly, annoying mannerisms that include gum chewing, looking away, a noise, traffic going by, planes overhead, somebody mowing their grass. At times can be very distracting. The room temperature, too cold or too hot, interruptions such as phone calls or people coming in and out of a room, and of course children running in and out can be very distracting. Internal distractions include self-consciousness, a preoccupation with what you're thinking, fear barriers, in overcoming fears. We need to be aware of our fears and find a way to diminish their effects on us. Preoccupation, there's times, that we all go through life and things dominate our thoughts. Being tired, when you're fatigued or when I'm fatigued, I do know it's very hard to engage in a meaningful conversation and really apply, all my assets to the speaker. And yes, to the speaker, and it's hard for me to listen. Hot buttons. I think this is crucial. We need to become more aware of our hot buttons. Hot buttons are words and phrases that excavate unpleasant feelings, typically unpleasant feelings that definitely impede us in our conversation, in our conversations with other. And trying to eliminate these, if we have to, we can change the venue. We can postpone a conversation. And the internal distractions, we need to try to shift our internal focus from ourselves to the speaker. Learn to recognize those hot buttons. Instead of reacting to them, learn to respond to them. Address fears with a best case, worst case scenario. And all the above, to be able to do all these things, we need to become more self-aware of our, and adopt strategies to ease discomfort. When I'm designing my overarching goal, this process takes me full circle back to the meaning of communication and what interpersonal communication means to me. And as Stewart so aptly states, the communication is a relationship, and keeping this in mind will help me reach my goal. I'll set goals long-term and short-term. The short-term goals are to chart my progress, give myself a little pat on the back once in a while, and also to catch pitfalls before they get out of hand. Of course, my ultimate goal is to reduce my impatience, avoid interrupting, and I remind myself that love is patience. Next, in reaching my overarching goal, first what I'd like to do is bring my family into the circle and alert them of what kind of changes that I'm trying to make. I will create situations to practice. I'd like to go ahead also and adopt the steps in Peterson's TLC program. I'll be mindful of eliminating external and internal distractions. And when I'm talking to somebody and trying to engage in interpersonal communication with them, I want to be mindful that I'm facing that person and that I'm giving appropriate eye contact and that my body language matches what I'm saying, that this person is not getting mixed messages. Will also resist impatience. I will respond to the speaker. If I'm not sure, I will ask them to clarify so that I have a complete understanding, that they know when they look at me and I respond to them, that they know in their heart that I am giving my greatest effort to try to understand what they're saying to me and that they are important and they are valuable in my life. And lastly, I'll apply empathetic listening skills as just what I've just talked about. But most of all, I'm going to be more mindful. And this is an active process. You just can't sit back. It's not going to just happen. This is something that we have to, it has to be active in our hearts and in our minds as well. And I think it's so crucial to remember to, let the conversation unfold naturally, because in the end, you're creating growth for yourself. You're creating growth for your conversational partner, and in that you're enlarging the conversation and you're adding meaning to your life. Thank you for your time and thank you for your patience, and God bless you.